If you're choosing between Acorns and Fidelity to finally start building wealth and become financially free, you might think both of them are safe bets for you. But that assumption could be costing you time and money. After managing real accounts on both platforms for a few months, I uncovered a key critical difference that you need to know. One platform actively grows your money with almost zero effort from you, while the other requires your active effort. Here's what you should know before picking. So let's get right to the heart of the Acorns versus Fidelity comparison. The truth is, these aren't just two different apps. They're built for two completely different types of investors. And understanding this is the key to picking the right one for you. Acorns is designed for the person who knows that they need to invest but doesn't know where to start or simply doesn't have the time or, doesn't want to deal with it. It's built on one powerful idea: automation. Your job is to live your life. Acorns' job is to quietly invest your spare change, your small weekly deposits, and to build a portfolio for you in the background. It's hands-off, it's simple, and it's incredibly effective at turning anyone into an investor without the stress. Think of it as your automatic savings and investment coach. But don't just take my word for it. I dug into what real users are saying, and one long-term Acorns user shared that he was very happy with Acorns, describing it as a simple way to automatically save. He said the simple format is good for beginning investors and provides opportunities for learning basic financial concepts. Another user mentioned that he'd been saving money for himself and retirement while learning, and he wanted to learn more about investing. He said that he loves Acorns and recommends it to everyone. So this feedback and much more really matches my own experience. Acorns really removes the intimidation factor, which is the biggest hurdle for most new investors. Like, you don't want to deal with all the extra noise. Sometimes you just want it as simple as possible. Now, Fidelity, on the other hand, is like the complete opposite. It is a powerhouse, and it's built for a different mission. If you want to pick individual stocks, analyze mutual funds, or manage a complex retirement portfolio, Fidelity gives you the professional-grade tools to do it. It's fantastic if you enjoy the research process and you want to be the captain of your own financial ship and dive deep into the sea of data. But here's the core difference that became crystal clear during my testing. Acorns is about building the habit of investing automatically, while Fidelity is about providing the tools for you to direct every single move yourself. For most people starting out, or even for seasoned investors who are just tired of micromanaging and maybe want something in the background to do it, that automation of Acorns is really a superpower, I think. It fights the procrastination and emotional decision-making that often goes on in investing. With Fidelity, the burden of choice and action is entirely on you, and that's also a great thing, but it is completely separate. If you don't have the time or the confidence to use all those advanced tools, they can just sit there unused. So ask yourself, do you want a guided, automated path to growing wealth, or a controlled dashboard where you call every shot and your future is up to you? All right, now that we see the core philosophy split, let's look at what you're actually getting when you sign up. I tested every major feature on both sides, and this is where the Fidelity versus Acorns comparison gets really interesting. So let's start with Acorns, right? Its biggest strength is its simplicity and how it wraps your entire financial life into one easy-to-use automated system. It's not just an investment app, it is an ecosystem that automatically runs for you. First, the famous roundups feature. So this is the feature that hooks most people on their advertising and on the internet, including me. So basically, you link your debit or credit cards, and then every time you spend, Acorns rounds up the purchase to the nearest dollar and then invests that spare change. It sounds kind of small, but it adds up really fast. So if you spend $31.27, the remaining cents that adds up to the next dollar is invested. Whereas if you spent 99 cents on something, the next cent would be added to something. So on average, users invest an extra $44 a month without even knowing it or feeling it or noticing it. I found this completely changed my relationship with small purchases. Instead of guilt, I saw each small purchase as a tiny contribution to my future, and I didn't have to worry about all the extra cents that were, not being used. Then there's Acorns Checking and the Mighty Oak debit card. So this is a newer feature, and it's a game changer. It's not just a checking account, it's a checking account designed to make you invest. With the Mighty Oak card, your roundups happen instantly, and you even get bonus investments when you shop at certain retailers. It turns everyday spending into this investment engine where you can also get coupon-style discounts, or maybe get an extra investment when you shop at these specific partnered retailers. It's very interesting. So for families, Acorns Early Invest is also a standout feature. It's a custodial investment account for your kids, and as of 2024, families have invested over $600 million through it. Setting one up took me 2 minutes and maybe 3 minutes. And it feels amazing to know that I'm building a foundation for my future child's future so easily. I don't have any kids yet, but when I do, I'll have a large account for them. They also have Acorns Invest, which is a regular taxable brokerage account, and Acorns Later, which is an IRA for retirement accounts. And they have all these different options, so definitely look through them. What's really smart, though, is how they guide you, how they bring you along for the ride. Based on a simple questionnaire, they recommend a diversified portfolio of ETFs. It's this set it and forget it approach done right and securely. And for those who eventually might want a little more control, they also offer a custom portfolio feature. I didn't even need to use that. I'm fine with the ETFs that they gave me. You can personally pick stocks and ETFs for up to 50% of your invest account, while Acorns automatically manages the rest of it. So if you want to go above and beyond, you can do that. And it's this really smart bridge between automation and then self-directed trading while still maintaining that core identity. But does this automated approach actually work? Does it make people money? Well, the results speak for themselves. I came across this review from an investor who said that he loves Acorns. He explained that they make saving and investing seamless and that the roundups are an amazing tool to watch your money grow fast. He was confident that in like 20 years, he'd have over $250K in his account without breaking a sweat. That's the power of Acorns' automation and consistency. I also looked on Reddit where someone asked if Acorns was worth it, and another user replied that he had started just over a year prior, contributing a small amount weekly with roundups, and he reported that in just over a year, he had nearly $600 set aside from almost unnoticeable effort and had an overall profit and return of 12% over all time. So, I mean, that example and a bunch of others that I saw is the proof of this. It's showing that people who use Acorns and actually use it to just throw their extra cents in or in any other way shows that it's this effortless, consistent growth that you get from the platform. All right, now it's Fidelity's turn, so let's look at some of their core features. As I mentioned earlier, the suite is massive, so I'm not going to cover every single tool, but there are a lot, and it goes pretty deep. Fidelity Go is their robo-advisor for hands-off investing, and that's kind of the closest I can get to like automation. They offer zero commission trading on stocks and ETFs. Their research tools are super extensive. They offer earnings reports, analyst ratings, screeners, everything a serious investor could want. And there's a lot of tools, and I really just can't get into all of them. But while Fidelity is very comprehensive, it can feel kind of fragmented, like the tools don't always connect to each other, and the interface. And with Acorns, the automation and the holistic view of your finances are kind of baked into the core of this simple, single app experience, right? And for building wealth on autopilot without needing to become a financial expert, that integrated approach is, in my testing, significantly more effective for most people. Now, I'm a bit higher up in trading, so I had to take it with like a grain of salt there. But I think that Acorns, in its simplicity and its automation, for most people would be more worthwhile than going through Fidelity and not having a clue what's going on. But of course, like no program, no platform, no software is going to be perfect for everyone, right? So to make the best Acorns or Fidelity decision, you're going to need to know the potential downsides to each of them. For Acorns, the most common critique isn't about performance, but about access. I found a review where a user stated that he wasn't able to open an account as the system was not able to verify his identity. So this can actually happen with any financial app that uses automated verification. In my own experience and from researching these broader forums, this seems to be a rare hiccup. It happened a couple times I saw, but it's often solved by reaching out to their support team, their customer service, and getting them the help. It's a one-time barrier, and it's not something that happens that often. It's not a reflection on the investing experience itself, which users overwhelmingly praise once they're in, but I did need to mention it because I saw it a couple times, and it is something to know about. For Fidelity, the downsides that I found, alongside their great features, the downsides were a bit more concerning. One user reported a very serious issue he had, claiming that Fidelity closes accounts for no reason and refuses to discuss it. He recommended avoiding doing business with Fidelity. I don't know what's going on there, but it is very concerning that that would happen. It didn't stop there. Another Fidelity investor raised a fundamental concern, stating that Fidelity is not a fiduciary company, although they claim they are, and that they wouldn't act in your interest. Now, Fidelity is a giant, reputable institution, and many users have no problems. But these kinds of reviews about account closures and questions about their advisory role and some other issues I found are serious considerations. When you're entrusting your life's savings, clarity and trust are paramount. So I do recommend doing as much research as you can before diving deep into Fidelity, if that's your choice. But with Acorns, the model is really transparent. It's an automated, goal-based system. There's less ambiguity about its role, which I found led to greater peace of mind. Now, when it comes to pricing in the Acorns versus Fidelity matchup, It's really less about the raw cost and more about what you're paying for. Fidelity is famous for its zero commission trades, which is fantastic for active stock pickers. For their managed portfolios like Fidelity Go, there are some management fees to consider, not too awful. Acorns uses a very simple monthly subscription model that gives you access to their entire ecosystem: invest, later, checking, and early. You're not paying for trades, you're paying for a complete automated financial system. So, is it worth it? Well, from my testing, if you value automation, simplicity, and the behavioral nudge to get you to actually save and invest consistently, Acorns' value is absolutely there. You're paying to turn investing from a chore into a background process that builds wealth for you. For the most current pricing, subscription plans, and any special offers going on, check that link in the description below. I'll keep it updated so you can make the most informed choice. So, after months of testing, where does this Acorns versus Fidelity battle leave us? Did I make money? Yes. But if your goal is to consistently grow your wealth without the stress to make investing automatic and simple, then Acorns is unmatched. And that's why for the vast majority of people looking to build real wealth this year, I think Acorns is the clear choice. If you're ready to start investing on autopilot, check the link in the description to get started with Acorns today.